My wife gave birth to a baby that wasn't mine, and she had no idea how it happened. I was in the delivery room when the doctor placed our daughter in my arms. She had dark skin and curly black hair. My wife is pale with blonde hair. I'm a redhead with freckles. The nurse looked between us, then quickly looked away. My wife was crying happy tears, completely oblivious. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to ruin what should have been the happiest moment of her life. We named her Emma. For 3 days in the hospital, I kept stepping outside to call my brother for advice. My wife thought I was just overwhelmed. I was actually having panic attacks in the stairwell. An affair seemed obvious, but my wife had severe morning sickness that kept her bedridden for months. I worked from home to take care of her. She couldn't hide an affair even if she wanted to. On the drive home, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I asked her as gently as I could. She looked at me like I'd slapped her. "Are you seriously accusing me of cheating?" She started crying, and I pulled over because I was shaking. I showed her a photo of Emma. "Look at her, then look at us." She stared at it, and I watched confusion and fear creep across her face. "I don't understand," she whispered. "I drove to her parents' house because if this went badly, she'd need her mom." Her mom saw Emma, and her smile faltered. Her dad made uncomfortable jokes about recessive genes. "We need a DNA test," I said. My wife agreed immediately, and that's when I knew she wasn't lying. A cheater would have fought me. 3 weeks later, the results confirmed it. I wasn't Emma's father. My wife had a full breakdown, terrified I'd leave. I held her because I'd been there for every appointment, every ultrasound. Something else happened. I suggested the IVF clinic because it was the only explanation. We'd done IVF after 2 years of failed attempts. We showed up with a lawyer. The clinic director acted offended until our lawyer mentioned the media. Then his attitude changed fast. 2 days later, they admitted it. A lab tech switched embryos during 2 transfers on the same day. The other couple had our biological child. Emma belonged to Marcus and Diane. Someone else was raising our son. The clinic offered us money to stay quiet. My wife wanted to take it and pretend Emma was just ours, but I needed to know who was raising our actual son. She finally agreed because deep down, she needed to know too. We met Marcus and Diane at a coffee shop. Marcus walked in carrying a baby carrier, and I saw him, our biological son. Red hair, freckles, my nose. My wife grabbed my hand so hard it hurt. We sat in silence because what do you even say? Diane broke first. "We should swap them." She wasn't being cruel. She was desperate, staring at her actual son across the table. My wife went pale and I felt sick. Emma had been ours for 2 months. I'd memorized her cry patterns, the way she fell asleep on my chest. The thought of handing her to strangers made me want to throw up. But Marcus looked at our biological son the same way I looked at Emma. "He's ours," Marcus said quietly. "Not biologically, but in every way that mattered." We talked for hours. Diane and my wife both wanted their biological children back, but Marcus and I had been the primary caretakers. We'd done the 3 a.m. feedings, the diaper changes, the panic Googling. We couldn't give them up. We agreed to keep the children we'd raised, but stay in contact. We'd tell them the truth when they were old enough.